Hey guys, welcome back. So this module is called How to Determine Your Timeline, aka Set Your Milestones. So you've been tuned in to our previous module. You've already learned the other important aspects of building your brand, such as creating a brand identity, figuring out what that brand strategy is going to be, creating your marketing position, as well as your budget. This time we're going to touch on your timeline, aka your milestones. So some of you guys may have thought, hey, I want to start me a new brand and I want to launch next year or this summer. You might have put an estimated set date for your brand, but what's important is for you to figure out strategically what is going to be the best date to launch. And in order to do that, you have to set obtainable milestones for your brand. You have to figure out what that timeline is going to look like from the moment you decide to create this brand all the way up to your grand launch. And to do that, it's going to take you a few simple steps. Basically, figure out what that grand launch is going to be. If it's next year, I have 12 months to prepare myself for this brand, and then work your way backwards. Within that, previously, we talked about creating your brand identity, your logo, your color scheme, things like that. You have to determine how long is that going to take. In order to do that, of course, you have to hit the ground running. You guys have to reach out to people that's going to be important to your business model, your attorneys, your CPA, your different teammates, people like that, and get them involved in this part of the process, because each one of them is going to play a key part to your timeline. What's going to happen is you're going to figure out by merging with your CPAs, your attorneys, your brand strategists, your marketing director, all these people are going to come together for you and your brand and say, hey, we need to do this first. We need to do this all the way from A to Z. Once you have that checklist of what you need to do, your legal stuff, your pretty stuff, such as your creatives, the money part of things, all of that goes into figuring out what your milestones are. So again, once you have that checklist, you have to put dates to everything. If you do not put dates to it, you're pretty much going to be all over the place, and you possibly going to run out of money before it's time to even launch your brand. So it's pretty important to figure out A to Z first, and then figure out, hey, what dates do we need to hit? For example, you want to launch your brand next year. That gives you 12 months to prepare. So within that 12 months, what steps did your attorney say you had to take? What steps did your brand strategist suggest? What steps did your marketing agency tell you needed to do before these 12 months are up? Take that, apply specific dates to it. It may be, if it's 12 months away, maybe you need to have your website launched within month 6 or something. Maybe you need to do your LLC or your legal incorporations first. Maybe that's step 1. Don't know. Everybody's timeline and milestone is going to be custom to what their plans are. So again, work with your team, figure out what your checklist is from A to Z, put some dates to it, and stick to those dates. Once you do have that checklist and you've kind of put dates to everything, you need to figure out, okay, who's going to make this happen? Who do I need to plug into that date? So if it's a marketing milestone, pull your marketing agency in there and say, hey, we need to come up with this marketing campaign. My timeline is to have this done by random date, of course, March 20th, 2022. So now your marketing agency know, we have a task to put together this creative campaign by March 2022. Same thing with your CPA. You let them know, hey, I'm going to be withdrawing so much money from my account because I need to invest in my team. I need to invest in my legal registration, different things like that. Let them know your timeline. Hey, next month I might pull out $5,000 for this. The month after that I might only pull out $250 for this. But give them those milestones and let them know, hey, these are the dates that apply to this amount, and keep it moving. So you basically want to do that through every step of that checklist or your timeline. You want to put a person in place or a team and solidify that date and make sure they know this is your task. This belongs to you. I've set my timeline. This is your milestone. And basically, it's theirs for the keeping after that. Now, as a business owner, it's going to be up to you to make sure everything stays on track. So after you delegate it, you have to follow up. My suggestion, if you're going to launch 12 months out, once you assign those tasks, periodically check in maybe every 3 weeks or so. Make sure everybody is doing what they need to do to make sure that you meet your milestones, basically. If you miss a milestone, don't worry, because if your business is set to launch in 12 months, you still have a little wiggle room with some of your milestones, so it's not gonna make or break your launch date. You just need to make sure you have a backup plan and that you're really vocal and you communicate that to your team. Like, hey, we can't be missing these dates. You need to be on it, or you need to hire additional people to help that teammate fulfill that milestone. Basically, if you keep on track and if you do that, by the end of that 12 months, if you meet your milestones on everything that you've created, you're golden. You can launch that brand and sit back basically and feel happy that everything worked out, All of your teammates, they succeeded in reaching their milestones, which was perfect for your brand because now your brand can launch successfully. So good luck. If you need help going back through any of the parts of that business model, your brand identity, your budget, your marketing position, any of that, in order to figure out what do I need to put on this timeline? What milestones do I need to set? Pause the video, hit rewind, and go back to the modules that you need to so you can obtain the extra knowledge that you need to create some good milestones. In conclusion, once you have that timeline solidified and you've set those milestones, take it a step further. Think about what that week looks like after that grand launch. Are there follow-ups that you have to make? Are there follow-up emails, follow-up phone calls? So that's going to require you to have milestones. What about the next month after you launch? And year, and so on, So put yourself in that mindset that not only do I have to come up and create a checklist and milestones for the first 12 months, but what does that look like after I launch, And as long as you stay in that mindset of I need to create timelines, I need to have milestones and put good dates to everything, you're gonna stay on track with your brand.